Recording. Guys, good morning. I'm excited to be with you. And today we have a special, dear friend and inspirational and my mentor in a way, because even though she doesn't know it, but it's you. So today we are very, how are you, Oli?
Hi.
Hi, hi. So today we are with Oli, and Oli is an amazing lady. She's an Israeli living in Canada, in Toronto. She's a mother of two amazing kids, Eitan and Abigail. She's married to Barak, and she is a beautiful inspiration for me in the last few years that I've been following her. We got to know each other without her knowing that through Tony Robbins, one of the people that I admire and I learn from very much, that says that giving is the secret of living. And I see Oli and I follow her with her post and her beautiful community, Orca. And I see that what she does is giving unconditionally. She's giving love, she's giving advice, she's giving this space and beautiful place for people to meet, for the ladies to mingle and to learn from each other and to share their wisdom. So basically, if you look at her definition, she is um, she is the manager and initiator, and she's basically the one that founded Orca, which is a global leadership for ladies and women around the world, Israelis. She took this Israeli warm corner in her heart and made it a beautiful, blossoming community. And the reason I chose to interview you is that, as far as I see that, the fact that you are a leader of such a blossoming, vibrant, beautiful community of ladies from all around the world is the fact that you're an amazing mom with a beautiful, blessed background that had some challenges, but had so much blessing that you shared. So that's why I chose to interview you today, to learn from you about parenting of your own children, about your own mom, and therefore how you became a mom for our community. So, ta-da!
Thank you so much. Wow, such an introduction.
That's it. I think we're at the
Um,
peak. We can stop now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So I think I will start with my background so people will understand where I'm coming from. I was brought up in a very Jewish Orthodox family. My father is a rabbi. My grandfather was a chief rabbi of one of the biggest cities in Israel. And I'm the oldest. I have a sister who is younger than me in 1 year and 1 week, exactly. A sister who is younger than me 2 years, less 1 day, which means I was born April 19, she was born April 18. And then my brother was born when I was 3 years old. So we are four
Very
children,
interesting.
very tight, which I think this is the blessing because we've been, brought up together very tight and very, like they've been my best friend. And I remember one time that we were fighting and we called my mom and she looked at us and she said, I heard you 5 minutes ago playing very nicely, and I don't recall that you called me to join you. So please handle this and just do it. And we were like, look at each other and we start laughing. And from then on, we never called her again, like when we were having fight. And I think fighting with your brother and sister, which for me was something very good because it taught us how to deal with the real world. In the real world, you have to negotiate and you have to know how to compromise. So I think in that way, my mom gave us the opportunity to see how it is in the real world. So that's one of the things. My parents got divorced when I was 4 years old, which is very unique for an Orthodox family. And my father, he moved to the States, and my mom stayed with the four of us, and she raised us. She was an amazing lady, amazing woman, amazing mom. Um, as I told you before, she wanted us to see the real world, not like so she was, I think everything that I am today, it's because of her, because the way that she raised us, because of the values that she gave us in the family. And one of I can share one story which will explain, I think, when I'm talking that she was an amazing mom and she taught us about value, what I mean about that. So when I was 9 years old, we went, it was a holiday, it was Hanukkah, which is equivalent to to Christmas. And we have like special donuts that we eat in Hanukkah. And Hanukkah is also a time when my mom had her birthday. So for those two reasons, we went my mom and all four of us, we went to buy sufganiyot, which is a special donuts. So we were going into the shop and we knew that she only have one, um, only like $10 in a pocket. That's it. And on the way to the shop, she saw old lady looking in the garbage to find some food. So my mom came to that lady and she took out the only amount of money that she had in her pocket and she gave it to the lady. She said, please go and buy yourself something for the holiday and have a wonderful holiday, and that's it. We were four of us. I was 9, my sister was 8, 7, and 6. We looked at her like this, shocked, like, what's going on about we were supposed to go and celebrate, like buying donuts and have something like some celebration. Then she looked at us and she say something that for me is my motto in life. She looked at us and she said, we are always going to have whatever we need in life. We will have, don't worry, we will always have whatever we need. Now it's our time to give to this lady. Let's go home and we'll make homemade donuts. And from that day on, I live my life in a way that we are always going to have whatever we need in life. Don't worry, we'll always have. So life became a challenge when I was 11 and a half years old. One day, my mom woke up, she opened her eyes, and she couldn't see anymore. She got blind in one night. Like, nobody knew what happened. In the beginning, they thought it's some kind of cancer or something, but they couldn't find it. She went to the hospital, she went to United States, she went to Switzerland to seek for some help, but she couldn't find anything. And when it happened when I was a little bit before I was 12, and since that day, the person who became the mom of the house, who was taking care of everything, cooking, going to the banks, everything was me. I was 12 years old. Now I'm looking at 12 years old. I'm like, what? I was doing all of that when I was 12. And we never felt sorry for ourselves. Never, ever, ever. I was always felt privileged to have this amazing life. Like, some things happen, but I know that I have the tools. She gave us the tools to handle everything that came through our path. So that was her. And when I was 14, she remarried to someone. And she had an amazing, beautiful little girl. But this marriage didn't work out. So when my little sister was a month old, they got divorced. And we raised the little girl with my mom. Her father didn't have so much to do. And she became like, if I was a 12, like a mother of 3, when my little sister came in, I was like, because my mom couldn't see anything. She wasn't functioning in the house in a way of cooking or changing or doing stuff that, she was. And I have to tell you, the connection that I have with this now she's 35 already, with Odelia. It's like the most unique relationship ever. It's 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 like it's much more than love. It's a connection. When I felt bonded to her from the moment she was born. Like it was something unique. It was much more than, just a sister. And when I was 22 and Odelia was 7 years old, my mom suddenly passed away. And I went into a battle between me and her dad, who would raise her. Now, her dad is extremely orthodox, very, very extreme group, small group. And it was a fight, not just between me and him, it was a fight between me and the whole community. Like the whole community, because I was raised as the Orthodox, and on that time was becoming secular. I was starting to go to university, and so it was a battle between me and the whole this Orthodox, very extreme world. And by the end, after a few years of battle, I won and I raised her as my own daughter. So I think this is like, this is a gift that I got from God. And I can tell one other thing that I was not religious at that time, which religious means lots of restrictions. And I was not religious. But I raised her as a religious girl. Yeah. And a lot of time people are asking me, how come? How come you were like, how come you raised? And my answer is that I got a gift for my mom. And in my way, in the way I see the world, nobody have to agree with me, but the way I see the world, when you get a present, you should do something good with it, the way that the person who gave it to you would like to. If somebody will give you $1 million and he will say, he will appreciate that you will go to learn to university and you will take it and buy a car, in my way, it's not, should not do that. So I raised her as a religious girl. I was not religious at that time. And this is because for me, it was a gift I got from my mom. So, and I think in that way, I continue her values. And I thought, listen, when she will grow up, she can do whatever she wants. But she married a religious guy and she got now 5 kids, 5.5, because she's pregnant. She's about to have her 6 kids in June. So that's my story. For
your story. Every time I hear it, I'm like blown away, because I think when I listen to you, I listen as a mom. I'm already a mom. And beside the fact that it's mind-blowing that you did all of that at the age of 12 because of, necessity is the mother of all invention, right? Like your mom couldn't do it and you stepped in, you stepped up and you did it. I hear from your story all the time that this legacy and these values of your mom are like the torch that is leading you in your life. And when you had your sister, after you fought for her, and I know what it means to fight against this super, super close, radical Orthodox group, it can be vicious. It can be horrendous and terrifying. And as a 22 years old lady, that it doesn't matter which way you chose that time, you chose the values over the comfort. And I think as a parent, that's what we choose daily. We choose to do the right thing for our kids, regardless of the price or the way or the method or the journey. And you started so early, and I think that's why you are such an inspiration and a leader today. I'm not kidding, because choosing to take this little girl to raise her yourself at the age of 22, I know in the religious community it's very common to become a mom very early. In the secular part of Israel or everywhere in the world, it's not that common. People go to university first, as you did. They want to establish something personally, and then they choose to compromise their free time and to become a parent. And you chose to do it in such an early year and to raise her as your mom would have liked to. Why? It's not only because your mom gave you a gift. It's something much deeper, Oli. Your mom gave you a gift and made you who you are. Why did you choose to give your sister the same legacy that your mom gave you?
When I was living the religion, I had a talk with my mom, and she told me, you could do whatever you like in life. I mean, she never forced us to do anything. She only asked me to remember the value that I got in my own house. In my own house, the values are Jewish values. They are Jewish, there is a value called tikkun olam, which means you have to do good in the world, not just take care of yourself. Think about the world, think about the earth, think about everything. I mean, it's, when you know what the meaning of tikkun olam means, you understand that we are talking also about nature. We're talking about everything. We have to take responsibility, not just about ourselves. We have to take responsibility for the people around us. And she told me, we brought you up in a house where there is value. There is good value. We respect other people no matter who they are, no matter what color their skin is. And she raised us in a way, and she told us, do you really want to know a person? If you really want to know a person, don't look the way he talk or he speak or he behave next to important people who he needs something
Impressed.
from them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look how we treat the person who clean the street. Look how we treat the waitress in a restaurant. Look how we treat people that he doesn't need anything from them. This is how you will know the true meaning of who he is, the true,
The
self.
soul.
So
The soul. Yeah.
exactly. So she told me all of that when we had this conversation, and she told me, remember the value that we gave you in the house. And it doesn't matter which way you're going to live your life, just don't ever forget the value. So I never forgot the value. I mean, it's part of my life. It's part of what I teach, because I'm giving lectures all around the world, and it's part of what I'm teaching. And, you know,
Yeah.
that's why I thought when I was taking Godelia at the age of 22, that I should give a good value, the same that I got when my mom was alive.
It's amazing. And look, we are talking about it. It comes to you so naturally, but your mom told you right from the beginning, because I see the religious community has much more restrictions, as you say. I see it also, and I wonder if you agree with me, that by having this structure, sometimes it's easier, even though you have so many restrictions, it's easier to follow the path because everybody is doing the same. And you have the leader from the rabbi, and you have the synagogue as a gathering place, and you have the faith that everything happens for the best, and God protects you and leading you the way. And she told you within all these restrictions and educating you to follow her values and to love people no matter who they are. And tikkun olam, I just want to say to those that don't speak Hebrew, tikkun means fixing, olam means the world. But it doesn't come as a patronizing fix the world. It comes as something that says, if everybody put their good deeds and intention in order to make the world a better place, the community has the power to change the world for the best, or to make the world the best as we speak in the existing moment. And with all these values and structure, she told you again and again, you can choose. And by giving you this freedom of choice, I think you empower the child to know that this is one way that I believe in. And I think that will give you a good option and good future, but you should choose to stay in it. She was a genius, your mom. And look at you, you're lecturing the same thing. So by giving your sister at the beginning, later we're going to talk about your kids. But do you believe and do you feel that you told her that she has the choice as well?
Yes, all the time. She knew that she have the choice. I think everything that we do in life is a choice, because, in my lectures, I say God is giving all of us cards. When you were born, it's you born, sometimes you born for a poor family, sometimes you born for a wealthy family, sometimes you born for good parents, sometimes you born with not so good. It doesn't matter.
Right.
What matter is what we do. It's all about choices that we do in life. So I told my sister also, when I was raising her and when I'm raising my kids, you have the choice. I am giving you the tools. Whatever you're going to do with it, it's yours. And I have to respect whatever decision they will make, as much as I respect my little sister. Whatever decision she would have made, I mean, that's her. It's not me. I am just, this is the tools. I'm giving you what I know, and that's it. I think this is our also mission as parents, to give the kids the right to choose. We cannot choose for them.
And it's so beautiful to listen to, because I think the belief that we are in a position to choose in every single second give you back the control. And I listen to you and it makes me, I'm like, oh my God, this is what I want to hear. I mean, that's what I believe in. Because when people believe that they can choose in every different situation how to behave, how to react, what to do with it, when you get the control, you have no fear. Because you know, there is this situation, okay, what do? I can cry about it, I can bitch about it, I can wail about it, I can choose to think positive about it, I can look for help, etc., etc., etc. But another thing that you said that it's so beautiful, that is a beautiful tool and a way of thinking for parents. And I think this is our biggest challenge. So if we get that like you, we are blessed, is the ability to understand that once you give the tools and the values and you teach the way and you let them choose and you disattach, this is the true empowering. Because if you tell her to do A and B and C and she chooses to do only D, what does it mean about you? Nothing. You're still the same beautiful person and soul that gave the tools and empowered her. She chose her own journey, and we should respect her and support her whenever we can. And you never know what her destiny on this planet is. You never know where she's supposed to go, what her destiny is, what she's supposed to do, right? So tell me,
Exactly.
how do you do that? How do you disattach what your mom taught you or what life taught you? What happened to you as a mom later on?
Um, Listen, she taught us to know our path. Like, in one way, we have to, each one of us should choose, but I can tell you, like in the Jewish tradition, we have something called Friday night. Friday night is a time when everybody is gathering around the table and talk and speak and, open up. And it's like a family time every Friday night. And every Friday night, we had the same game. She used to ask us, what do you want to do in life? And how are you going to achieve it? It's like only later on I understood that she taught us how to create vision in our life.
Isn't
So
it?
it's genius. I was just, when I was learning coaching, I'm like, oh, my mom, she did it like every Friday night. And I say, I want to become a lawyer. And she said, why is it important to you? And I explained to her. And then she said, okay, so what are you going to do about it? And I said, I'm going to do this. And I'm a lawyer. And, my brother, he said, I would like to be a businessman. And she asked him, why is it important to you? And he said, because I know that when I will have a lot of money, I can help people that I love. I can heal causes that I like. She said, okay, so it's very important. What are you going to do? And he said, I'm going to go and I'm going to learn and I'm going to, and he's a businessman. So in a way, I think as parents, we should give our children the opportunity to choose, but we also have to show them the path. We have to teach them
Direct. Yes.
how to ask the questions about their life. And I'll give you one more example how she always challenged us. When I was in 7th grade, I moved to a new school. And after a month, like 6 weeks after I came to the new school, one of my classmates, she invited me to a girl night out, like few girls going, talking. And I was very excited, I was the new girls in the neighborhood and everything. So when I came back home, my mom looked at me and she said, "What did you learn?" And I was sure that she's talking about, my social life, because I was just came into the neighborhood and I'm having friends and I'm starting. And she looked at me again and she said, "I asked you, what did you learn?" I didn't understand. And then she told me, "I'll give you my advice to you. Every time you're going with friends, make sure you're coming with something new that you learn, something new, some new thoughts, some new skills, something that is new. Don't just go with girl." And I was seventh grade, like, come on, seventh grade. She say, "Don't ever waste the time just by, of course, not gassing, not talk about other people, but she say, talk about ideas. Talk about what you want to do in life. Talk about things that have values." And this is something that I adapt to my life, and I'm adapting to my kids' life. And I'm even those that are 8 and 10, I'm telling them, if you're having fun with kids, just try to learn something. Of course, when you're 8 and 10, it's not like, but just don't waste your time in ways that, okay, so what did you learn after 2 hours? Oh, nothing. So I think this is part of the tools
It is.
to become always better, to learn from other people. Don't waste just your time, but just not doing anything, and create vision for yourself, and teach the kids. I'm having a vision board with my kids every year. Before the school years began in September, we are sitting together and we're doing a vision board. What student you want to be, what a friend, how would you like to be as a friend, how do you, and I think when you put it in their minds, everything they are grade one, in a small way, in pictures and fun, but when you put in their mind that when you're living, it's not just living, it's about creating your future. Everything you do now will affect the way you will create your future. So I think in that way, learning how to create vision and to ask the right question helped me to become who I am.
It's fantastic. I'm just delighted to listen. And I listened to you, and she was a genius, and you continue the geniusity here because she planted the seeds of mindfulness. She literally planted these seeds of mindfulness. Because if she tells you, when you go out, whether you're 13 or 8 or 10, it doesn't matter. Go to enjoy, go to explore the social activity and social environment. But think, what can you gain out of it? What can you teach? How can you become better? This is mindfulness, to be present in the moment. So you take something and you give something and you evolve as a person. And look at you. That's how you evolved. And you give it to your kids and you gave it to your sister, making sure that these human beings and soul that were put on this planet will be the best version of themselves. And to become the best version of yourself, whether as a parent, as a businessman, as a lawyer, as a kid, it takes some time and effort and intention to work. Now, it's not about working and suffering, it's about celebrating who we are. We were giving the skills or gift or options in order to manifest it in the world and to make this world a better place. So by doing that, by sitting with your kids and doing these vision boards and to let them think about what it is they want to do, they already, as Tony says, where focus goes, energy flows. I always say to my kids, they start to laugh at me every time I start, Tony Robbins again. I said, yes, Tony Robbins again. Now I'm going to say, Oli Carmon. But I said, look,
Always.
but as a good idea, you take it. It costs you nothing. You take it, you implement it, you spread the word, you're creating more and more and more good vibes around you. And listen, I'm listening to you and I'm like celebrating what you're telling me. This is like, it's a gift. Thank you so much for sharing. And I wanted to ask you, because we talked before, and I know already that you were a young mom by definition by the age of 22 when adopting your sister and raising her religiously, and then bless her, she became a mom herself, and I'm sure she's doing an amazing work. And when you wanted to become a mom, what happened? And
So I got married, and in the beginning, it wasn't, it wasn't so urgent. We would say, let's travel around the world. And then it's come the time when my husband said, okay, we want to have children. And I say, yeah, let's start trying. And we tried and we tried and nothing really happened. And then we went to the doctor and we went through 13 IVF, which is
A lot.
fertility. Yeah, it's a lot. It's crazy. I mean, we could do it in Israel because in Israel it's sponsored by the country.
Yeah.
Here in Canada, it's cost like about $25,000 for every cycle. So, it's crazy. But it's also doing something to your body. My sister, Odelia, she was a mom already for her oldest daughter. Her name is Roni. And she was pregnant with her second daughter. And I was driving in my car, and all of a sudden we heard a phone call in my car. So I pick up the phone, and on the other side was the nurse from the clinic telling me that my 12th IVF didn't work. And it was after 5 years of treatment, and it changed my body, and it's injection, and it's like coming in 6 o'clock in the morning, going to the clinic to check the blood and check and do ultrasound. And it's like 5 years. And I was like very driven, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it. So two things happened. First of all, because my mom say that everything that we are happening in our life, there is a lesson. So for the first time, my lesson was, to learn there's things that I cannot control, because I was controlling everything ever since I was a child. I understood that there are things that I cannot control. This is one thing. The second thing was the things that happened in the car with Odelia. I was like in a shock. I was heartbroken. Only years later, she told me what happened when she saw me like that. She said, wow, I was shocked when I saw you. So she talked to her husband, and she came to us with a very, very generous offer. She said, I'm willing to be a surgeon, a surrogate for your child. I'm willing to carry your own child in my tummy. I was like shocked. By the way, she's the second person who offered that. My best friend also offered that. Her name, by the way, is Dana. She also offered that, which was very touching for us, the idea that somebody will give so much. But we felt it's not right, and I wanted to try again and have my own child. So she understood in her own mind that there is a connection between the fact that I'm trying to have a baby and I cannot do it, and the fact that I have a huge confrontation and battle with her dad, and the fact that they haven't seen each other, not because of me, because he chose, after he lost the custody, he chose to go away and never to see her again. It was his choice, not mine.
Yeah.
She understood the difference, that there is connection. And there is something in Judaism that's they call lakpid, which means if somebody is feeling bad about you, it can hurt your
energetically.
Energy, exactly. It can stuck your energy. So without me knowing anything, she arranged a meeting with her dad. Now, she only told me that somehow there is a connection with her dad, and she came to me and she asked me, what do you think? Will it be okay if I will go and meet my father? She haven't seen him like for many years. She was, by the age that she was, the custody was gave to me, she was 9. And by that time she was like 23. So for many years she haven't seen him. So she told me, what do you think about that? And I said, of course, he's your dad. It's natural that you are curious to see who he is and what he's doing and how his life is going. But I have a request for you. Please tell him that I'm asking for forgiveness. Now, my brother-in-law was in the room with us, and he was like, what? How come you ask for his forgiveness? You did the right thing. He should ask for your forgiveness. And I say, you don't understand. I am not asking forgiveness because what I did, because I think that was the right things to do.
Correct.
I'm asking forgiveness because in his mind, I stole his kids. I stole his daughter from him in his mind. So please ask for forgiveness. So she met him. Now I know that that's the reason that she met him, but I didn't know by that time. She met him and they were talking and she told him, you know, Orly is asking for you forgiveness. Now, when I took her away from him, he was sure that I'm gonna do horrible things with her. Like she's gonna be, I don't know, she's not gonna be religious, she's not gonna be brought up in good values. Now, she came to him, she have a daughter, she's married to a really amazing guy. She's pregnant. She looks like, you know, you can see she's a good girl with good values. He looked at her and he said, tell Orly that it's not just I'm just gonna forgive her. I'm gonna do much more than that. I'm gonna pray for her that she's gonna have a child. Now,
What a closure.
I have no explanation. I'm not, but I can tell you what happened in real life. In real life, less than 2 months later, the 13 IVF that I did, I was pregnant with my son, with Eitan, who is 10 now.
Wow.
And when Ethan was exactly a year old, we did another IVF and Abigail came to the world. So this is my message. My message is sometime when you forgive other people, you give yourself a present.
Correct.
Because people a lot of time thinks, why should I forgive him? And they resent, other people resent. No, you don't forgive him. You forgive something in your own heart for yourself. Something will open up in your own life. So just be, I think this is my message to the world, just forgive other people and learn that when you forgive, you open up something in your own life. So this is the message.
It's a beautiful message, so deep. And I listen to you, and you are very wise. A lot of people would say, why should I ask for him to forgive me? I should forgive him. But as you said, when you know you're doing the right thing, you are very in peace with yourself. But the other party has experienced it in a different way. Therefore, you ask for their forgiveness for their feelings. You can't argue with feelings. And when I listen to you, this compassion, the ability to forgive and let go and to admit other people's emotions is something phenomenal. That's what makes us human beings. And your sister, by creating this meeting with him, by understanding the connection of this energy, of this forgiveness and holding this anger, even subconsciously. Maybe, he was worried what happened with her. He never knew that you did such a good job and she made such good choices. By understanding this, her emotional intelligence is phenomenal. And definitely coming from you, and she took it to the extra mile, she took it further. And when I listen to your story, the fact that she came and offered you to be the surrogate for your baby, the fact that she went to her dad to do this connection for you guys, the fact that you asked for his forgiveness and he forgave you and also prayed for you, this is for me the definition of unconditional love. And that's what I wanted to ask you, because I was wondering if it's going to come up in this conversation, but it did in so many ways, and we need to nail it, honey. We just need to nail it. What is your definition? Because for unconditional love, because you're doing it day by day, but how do you define it?
So I'll tell you what happened on with her dad, because I think it's all connected. In the Judaism, we have one of the 10th amendments is to take care of your father and mother.
To respect, yeah.
To respect and take care of them, and kabed et avicha, which means you have to respect your parents, but when you say respect, it's more than that. You have to take care of them. I mean, if they need you, you are there for them. So a few years ago, her dad became really sick, and she took care of him. Now, he didn't know her. Like until she was 23, he saw her all her life, like maybe 4 or 5 times. That's it. That's it. He never knew her. He never raised her. He never gave money, nothing. So one of my friends, when she heard the story, she told me, weren't you mad that like now she's taking care of her dad? I say, no, I'm not mad, because this is the value of love. When you have a value of loving a person who is your father and mother, it doesn't matter if they raise you, it doesn't matter what they did to you. It's your obligation, what you are doing for them. And this is the value. And when I was talking to her, she said, listen, this is the value that I was learning from you. So, if you're talking about unconditional love, I think this is a real good example, that you have to know to give without expecting somebody to give you back in the present or in the past or in the future. Just learn how to give and forgive, and it's all come together.
It comes together and it rhymes so beautifully. And I'm with you on that. And I think it relates to what you said before. When you make a choice and you let go, so you give the love and you let go. You give with full heart because you choose to, and that's it. Whatever they do with it, it's up to them. But when you give so purely, that's the beautiful form of the energy to go towards this person. And how lucky she is to get it from you. And listen, she took it for, this is like, it's a beautiful cycle to see how your mom started it, and it went to you, and it went back to her, and then she went back to her dad. And think about the waves of the energy that it created in his community. To see a daughter is coming out of nowhere, taking care of her dad in such a closed, restricted community. I'm only thinking about the waves of changes that it made over there. It makes me shiver. It's like, boom.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's really happening because they're like, yeah, it's amazing.
It's happening. This is the form of energy that cross borders, genders, ethnicity, everything, and belief.
Yeah, and I think love does that, because as I learned from my mom, she always taught me. I'm just giving one more thing that she taught me
Of
because
course,
it's related to love. She told me, when you're about to get any decision in life, ask yourself what motivates you. Is it fear? Because if you think about it, all the bad qualities there is in life, it's like connected to fear. If you're jealous of somebody, you fear that he's going to have something you're not going to have, right? Rage, it's fear. Everything is fear. So from one hand, you have fear. From the other hand, you have love. So she taught me, everything you do in life, ask yourself one question. Is what motivates me? Is it love or is it fear? Now, if you will think about it, everything that we're doing in life, even, when I'm not feeling well and I'm going to the doctor, you can do it out of fear, okay? When there is now a situation when we have to take care of ourselves. It can be out of fear, but it can also be out of love, because I love my body, because I love my family, because I love life. So everything we do in life, we have to ask ourselves the question, is it fear that motivates me, or is it love that motivates me? And when what motivates us is love, it's more pure. You put your heart into it, and it changes everything, because you can do exactly the same stuff. And it's okay also to say, it's because I love myself. It's not, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to say I'm doing this kind of stuff. It's as long as it's not coming out of fear that somebody will have something or something will. So this is something that will, I think, summarize everything that got to do with love.
I totally agree with you. And I think people know, they sometimes tend to fall into the hole, but the vibration of love is a much higher, pure, stronger, that goes endlessly. Vibration as fear is something that makes you crumble and makes you become smaller. So you deserve to be your best version. Hey, Hanoch. Yes, you can. It's my little one. He just woke up. On the skateboard? Yeah, ask daddy to help you, okay? Because I'm in the middle. So yes, so love vibration will make you expand, will make you believe, will make you settle. So whatever happens, I can handle. I love myself, I love my kids, will do the best to take care of them, even within this situation, right, of the virus around us. When you act out of fear, the fear, beside the fact that it takes over your mind and your belief and makes you really narrow-minded in the terms of the point of time, it impacts the the neurons in your brain, the chemistry in your body. So you deserve better. We all deserve better. So if we practice this self-love and we fill up our own cup with this beautiful energy as you do, then we're in a position to give to others. And I think this will be the link to the next question. When you have all these beautiful values coming from your mom, and you have, I guess, and I guarantee that you adopted more values as you grow up and you handle your kids and you handle your sister and your family and your community, how did you choose and why did you choose to create this beautiful Orca community? To have so many strangers sitting around in this virtual community, asking questions, sharing their thoughts and their beliefs that sometimes are so controversial to what you believe, coming from this giving unconditionally, love, wisdom. What? Tell me, how did it start and why?
I always felt, I felt lucky having my own community around me. And I know that there are some Israeli women who are living abroad, who are living in France, who are living in Europe or in the United States, some of them not in very big community, and they need somebody to share their thought. They need somebody to share and to hear them and to be part of a larger community of women, strong women who can understand you, where you can be weak next to them, when you can be strong next to them. They're not going to judge you, and they're going to bring all the values that he spoke in my own life to this community too, to feel that you have a friend, whatever you are in the world, that will share and be happy for you when you are succeed, and will be sad for you when something bad is happening. And everything I'm bringing to this community, what makes this community unique is the fact that we are trying to meet each other. From time to time, I'm taking them to trips around the world, Morocco, Costa Rica. I'm doing some conference in Toronto, in New York, in Israel, whatever. So the fact that we know each other through the web, it's not just limited to the web, it's also to know each other. And that's why we are doing lots of Zoom meetings so everybody can know each other and everybody can meet each other. And it's all about, and I think that when a community is built on values, all the values that you spoke about, if somebody have the same value, she will feel comfortable in the community, she will feel loved, but if somebody is not having the same value, she won't find herself. It will be so, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So far it's growing and it's becoming a really huge success. And I connected to each one of them like they're my own friend. So
It's beautiful. And the fact that I told you at the beginning, I'm also a part of this community. I'm also a mini orca swimming in this ocean of beautiful Israeli women. And I follow as much as I can because this is the gift that I want to give you, this acknowledgement. I acknowledge you to run this community because there are so much action in the community, so much sharing of content and wisdom and ideas and complement each other. And I follow as much as I can, and I really try to follow you as much as I can because I see the way you're giving back unconditionally. You give your wisdom, you provocate us to share, you provocate us to think, you provocate people to share their talented, to give it for free. So if I remember I gave one, you said, okay, who can give one to each other? Let's share our gifts. And I said, okay, I can do this and that, helping. And a lady contacted me and I said, wow, you allowed me to give unconditionally. So the ripples of goodness that you create around yourself is magnificent. And the fact that you run it by your values, I think that's what makes this community so special. So when you commit, we are inspired to commit as well. So it's not that you give and disattach, which is what you've learned how to do, which is beautiful. You put a post, whoever takes it, takes it. If nobody takes it, you move to the next post. You don't go back. But by sharing your post, you encourage us to do the same. So ladies are approaching and commenting and complimenting and asking how people are doing. And this is the true meaning of giving and unconditional
Wow.
love. And that's why I wanted to interview you, because I was blown away. I follow you for the last year and a half, I think, maybe like a year plus. And I said, you keep going. And I want to hear this essence of this keep going. What drives you to keep going? And I think it's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Wow, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. What would you like to bless all the people that are listening to us? What is your blessing in this?
Wow. I think good health now it's the most important thing. I think it's people really understand the value of good health because doesn't matter this coronavirus is treat us all the same. It doesn't matter if you're the prime minister of England, and it doesn't matter if you're somebody who works on the street of Delhi or Bombay or Pakistan or New York. It treats us all the same. And I think this virus is coming to give us a message. We are all united. We are all united. Something that starts with one person, only one person. I think this is a message from the universe. If you haven't understood how much we are connected as a world, and you are fighting, and sometimes people are fighting for rubbish, and you're fighting, and you ego and everything, and the world is like we are all connected. We are all connected. Something that starts with one person in some remote place in the world, now is spreading for 202 countries around the world. There is no country that is clean from this thing. It only shows us how connected we are, how we are all the same. And I really hope that it's going to teach us to treat each other, to understand like we are all the same. So just pray for health, and people will come out of this situation in a way that they will be stronger. And I really do hope that this is the message that people will understand, that people will say, just we don't need a virus to put our guns down. And when I'm talking about guns, I'm not just talking about wars, of course, about war between countries and between people, talking about the idea of people always fighting, even between even in court. And as a lawyer, I know that I used to see people fighting in court. I'm like, why are you fighting? Just sit and talk to each other. And people who get divorced, and people just talk to each other, you people. So we really do understand that people will understand that we don't need a virus to teach us that we have to treat each other equal, and no wars. Just speak to people with open heart, and as I say, with love.
Fantastic. Yes. Take the passion of this anger, divert it to love. The world will explode from good things.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
I hear you. I'm with you on that.
Thank you so much. I had so much time, so much fun with you.
Listen, I want to bless you back. I want to bless you to continue with the same passion and urgency of sharing and taking care of people. And may all this love and support that you have in this group will come back to you to make your life better and to feel good about yourself and about your choices. Continue to be really a beacon of light. This is beautiful to follow you and to listen to you and to learn from your values and your way of living. Stay safe, be healthy, celebrate your choices within this limited time for the coronavirus. And I'm very grateful for you for giving me this time and for sharing it. I think
And
it's
I'm grateful for you for inviting me to your show. Thank you so much.
really, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, my
Thank you,
darling.
Dana.
Take a good care. I'm going to stop the recording and then we can say goodbye properly. Thank you. Thank you. And guys, this is a gift. This is a gift for you to listen to Oli and to hear and to learn all these values. Whatever you practice already, bless you. You're doing a beautiful job. Is there anything you would like to take in and to enlarge this box of tools of yours of being a human being, being a parent, being a brother, being a part of the community? So bless you and take it on. And if you have anything you want to share with us that can make us the better human beings, or make us the better giver, or make us stronger in this time of this uncertainty, please share it, and this will be your gift that we can pay forward. So see you tomorrow with another interview, and thank you everybody for watching. Ciao, ciao.